The Nikki Glaser Podcast. The Nikki Glaser Podcast.
Here's Nikki.
Hello, here I am. Welcome to the show. It's the Nikki Glaser Podcast. Happy Thursday, everyone. What's Thursday in Spanish, Andrew?
Viernes.
Really?
Yeah.
How do you know?
Or viernes. Viernes.
Is it really Florida or
Yes.
is it like education?
Viernes might be Friday.
Wait, you know it, Noah? Do you know Spanish? Noah?
Yeah. Wait, hold on.
Viernes might be Friday.
Vendredi is Thursday in French. Listen.
Here, wait.
I don't know.
It's okay. People either know it or they don't care. Because if you cared, you would know it. Happy Thursday. Last day of the show for the week. First day of the show for
Jueves.
What?
Jueves.
Isn't that
Viernes
eggs?
is Friday.
Huevos
is eggs.
Oh, then what the hell is Thursday in French?
How do you spell it?
Jueves. Okay, where's Jeeves? Ask him.
Uh,
Okay.
Wait, what? Oh,
Ask Jeeves.
S Chiefs.
Ask Weaves. Jueves. Anyhow.
Today's the first day of the filming for us. I couldn't sleep last night. I don't know whether I'm nervous or I'm just like I was just restless. I think my mattress sucks, to be honest with you. I think the mattress here sucks, and I've never once blamed a mattress for my sleeping. But I did do an ad read yesterday for a new sponsor that we have on the show, and I was sold on the fact that I want that mattress really, really bad in my life. They're called Nectar. Yeah, I mean, that's just a good name for whoever came up with that name in whatever think tank they did for that mattress brand. Like, what's something that reminds you of like something soothing yet not
Also,
like that
makes
you
me
feel-
think like my neck will be fine.
Yeah.
Like neck.
It's
when
like
I think
neck and
mattress-
doctor together. It's a neck doctor for your neck.
Can't wait for Bacter to come out.
Lower
Bacter.
But I want one of those nectars. So shout out to the and those mattresses are like I couldn't believe I was doing this ad read and I'm like, wait, is that how much money you get off of this mattress? Because mattresses are so expensive, but it's actually how much the mattress is. So if you're looking for a mattress, definitely go to Nectar mattresses because I was sold just reading the points about it. I was like paying it more attention. And so, okay, not only is my mattress shit, but the sheets are rough. At night, I think this place that I'm staying turns I put you're supposed to sleep very cold to have the best sleep possible, as you know that I love.
Yeah.
I put it down to 65 on the thing,
Yeah,
knowing that it's not going to get there ever. But I want it as cold as possible. And the room won't go beyond during the day. It'll get down to 67, which I don't really want during the day, but I just leave it on anyway. And then at night, 72. It won't go any lower than that. So I think this place is cheapening up at night because they go, oh, the sun's not coming down. We don't need to put as much energy into the AC. I'm burning up and tossing and turning.
It's hard to be hot on hard sheets.
Yes.
Like it's a strong combo of like it feels like you're on cardboard and you're outside almost.
Yeah.
The pool's also not
on
heated
that.
here. Yeah, in Portland and stuff.
Yeah,
I
and
don't
all
know.
over the country.
Yeah. Crunchy.
Also all over the crunchy.
Crunchy.
All over the crispy McCrispy. There's a sandwich at the McDonald's here called the McCrispy, and
The Pollo
it's Pollo
McCrispy.
McCrispy. And yesterday we were driving past McDonald's, and I was like, "Oh, Pollo McCrispy." I was like, I have never wanted something more in my life that I don't eat, like that I have no interest eating. But that sounds real good. And Andrew didn't even really notice me. He kind of heard me say it, but it didn't sink in. And then this morning, we went past that sign again. He was like, "Oh man."
I don't know. Adding a Y to things just make it more
Crispy is such a good
crispy.
word.
And
pollo doesn't make me think of chicken because it's not my first language. So
Yes.
it's not. When I hear chicken, I hear like bird sandwich.
What about chicky? A
Chicky.
little chicky.
That takes me out of it a little
A little
bit.
McChicky.
This bed and then the AC unit sounds like a roaring lion purring.
It really does.
It's awful. And so I amp up my white noise, which I had to put in my headphones last night because the white noise on my phone, the speaker got ruined because my phone got saturated by some lube, and so the speaker.
Really? In your bag or by the bed? What happened?
Bed, there was like a pool of lube, and I set down my phone, and it gets seeped in the speaker, and it's just like buzzy now. It's like your cat, and so it just does not sound good coming out of my phone, and so I had to put in my AirPods to drown out the purring lion in my AC unit. And also, I just was kind of scared here last night because I was like, I could legit get murdered and no one would hear me because I'm so tucked away.
Yeah.
That's not like a clarion call to murderers out there to come find me, but like, this is the place to do it.
You're like in the country in a hotel. Yeah. Like you're in rural hotel.
Yes.
Rural city. Like you could like.
I'm in like the basement of a hotel, and to get to my room, you have to walk like 8 miles.
Yeah.
And
if
Mom's
the cartel
spaghetti.
is listening, like there's security though. Just letting you know.
Yeah, you have to like.
There's a lion.
Just act confident walking in here.
There's a lion inside the air
Yeah,
conditioner.
there's a hibernating lion.
Ready to go at any moment.
I couldn't sleep till 3 a.m. last night. I have never watched so much TV in my life as these 2 days I've had off here in Mexico, where I've been neglecting work and also not having to like actually do anything except the podcast. I finished Afterlife. Very, very interesting ending, which led me to Google what does the ending of Afterlife mean, which I'm not the only one Googling that, by the way. A lot of people are confused. But
Really?
it's good. It's good. If that doesn't compel you to watch it, I don't know.
Do you feel like sometimes, like, depending on the it's like music, but like I was watching Yellow Jackets with Brenna, and I feel like it's such an intense show about like death and like I don't know, just like really
Survival
dark
and
survival. And it honestly, I think it almost like started not fights, but like it gives us a like you shouldn't watch it right before bed with your partner because I feel like.
Yeah, it's just it makes you anxious.
Question. Yeah.
It puts your body. I was depressed after Afterlife because it makes you think about death so much.
It's so funny when you watch things. Like if you watch Yellow Jackets at 10 a.m. and someone gets murdered and their throat cut or whatever, and you'll be like, fucking whatever. And then your brain at 11 p.m. sees that and you're like, I could get killed too. I don't know. For me,
I think it does it anywhere in your day. I mean, I guess you have more things to distract you throughout the day.
Yeah.
If we've learned anything, just play Tetris and it'll erase it.
Yeah, that's what ham trips for sure.
But
Tetri.
It's true. It is funny that we're like, isn't it weird that art can impact your mental state?
Yeah.
Sometimes
I know it sounds dumb, but I know it's like
we don't treat TV shows as art, but it is, and like just the way a song. I don't know what that was.
A crunchy song.
That was art.
A mix.
That was art.
The way a song can affect you emotionally, like of course TV shows can, and it can change the way you look at the world and the way you feel about your, existence. I mean, Afterlife really got me like into some weird kind of dark places. And then I was watching The Bachelor the other night, and I had to turn that off because I was just not in the mood to hear pretty people talk about how sad they are just so they could get a chance to get like fake married on the show. And then I was also watching. What did I watch last night? God, there was something else.
You
that
feel
I was
like
getting into
the show that we're shooting here that we can't talk about yet. Everyone knows that because like Afterlife is kind of the opposite of like the kind of show we're shooting here. That like, does it make you? I don't know.
Well,
like, do you think that makes you more anxious? Like, because.
I texted Chris last night that he was like, "How are you feeling?" And I'm like, "I'm a little nervous going into tomorrow, even though the show I'm making is called F-Boy Island and nothing matters." Because truly nothing matters.
No.
We're all going to die. And the show I am making is called F-Boy Island. And that was my joke last year on set before the name of the show was released and I couldn't talk about it. But every time someone would be like, I don't know, tomorrow we don't even know the location, and then we got these people coming, and now this person's not talking to this person, and I don't think we're gonna get it done in time. And I was like, we're making a show called F-Boy Island. Put everything in perspective. This doesn't matter. I mean, it does.
Yes.
A lot of money is being invested in it, but everyone who makes this show and everyone who's on the show will die someday.
Yeah,
and
look beautiful.
and very
ripped.
relatively soon compared to the whole existence of life. Like that, the world will go on. The show will be forgotten. We all will be forgotten. Does that make you feel better or worse? I don't know.
That's a good question because it's like then you're like, wait, am I just doing something that I don't believe in, or like?
But I do believe in the show. That's the good thing. I believe in comedy, and I believe
Yes.
in telling the truth about things that everyone takes too seriously. So that is what I love about this show, is that while it's a fictional world that things are taking place and the people are real, the emotions
Yes.
become very real. And
the show has a sense of humor about
I get
itself.
to comment on everything. It's the best. It's that whole thing that I say about if you want to be a comedian, like the best advice I can give you, or if you want to be funny in life, just be honest. Like always be honest, and that's the funniest thing because. And I was thinking about it the other day because someone asked me, what's the advice you give stand-up comedians? And I was doing the whole thing of, be a cool person to be around, and then people will help you out and bring you on the road. And I was like, no, the best advice comedically is just, when in doubt, say the most honest thing. That's what roasting is. That's what it's just honest. And why is that? Why is that the ticket to being funny? And the reason is because we're all so full of shit.
Yeah.
Everything we do is a lot. Everything. Every meeting you go on, every phone call you take, there is so much bullshit. Everyone is lying about, when you say buenos dias to the woman at Starbucks. I don't really mean it. The day's fine. I'm not, I don't really care if you have a good morning. When I say thank you, I do mean it, but everything we do is fake. And I'm not trying to be emo about this, but it is funny that there is a talent you can have if you just don't be fake, because it is so pervasive how fake everyone is all the time.
Yeah, I think that's why I got into stand-up, because I felt like anytime I worked in an office and I was in a meeting and I'm in a button down, and the whole time I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
And I really can't be fake. I can't put it on. I'll say the
you have
most
a threshold.
wrong thing every time.
You'll get too real. Like the other day when you ran into the director of our show in the elevator, you hugged him.
Yeah, I blew him.
Yeah, I mean that's what you call it hugging.
But I was just being
That's
honest
Spanish.
about putting his dick in my mouth.
Yeah.
And I was
But
just
you hugged him, and I think that was your honest thing. Was I like this guy. I'm excited to see him. But it was awkward. You said it was a little awkward.
It was
You're
a little,
maybe I
but
shouldn't have hugged him. And it was even that, you have to just be fake all the time.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's I got into stand-up because of that, and then I realized it's so
much
fucking,
of stand-up
so
is fake.
much-
Everyone
so
is so
everyone
fake.
in New York, not New York,
I mean,
but
comedians are fake. I mean,
Yeah.
every kind of.
I did it. I was fake. I'd be at mics and not act like myself because I thought maybe it would be a faster way to just climb up the rank. Because
But
I'm
that's why
older.
it's
I started old. I was just
But that's why it's a talent, to be honest.
I
Because
know.
if it were easy, then everyone could do it. But it's not, and it's only. I mean, it's something I didn't get. People are like, "How do you just How are you so honest and you're so open?" And it's it didn't start that way. You just over time realize, oh, when I was a little bit honest about this, that got a good reaction.
Yeah.
Even though it was scary to be that honest. Let me try it again tomorrow and take it a little further. Oh, they didn't like that. Let me pull back, and I got to work on my confidence a bit more, because if you deliver honesty
Yeah.
without confidence, people get weirded out.
You know what it is when I was in college, I would cheat on everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't care what anyone thought of me. Somehow, I just didn't care. I just did. And I was so honest with cheating that I was just I don't give a fuck. I
Yeah.
really don't. And so many people liked me because I was just so ridiculous. And then when I would work in my job, I'd be I didn't care about getting promotion, so I could be my honest self.
Yeah.
But then once I did something where I actually cared,
Then suddenly,
yeah, if my goal was just
insecure.
to make more money or get a sale or whatever, I would have been fake as shit.
Yeah.
But because that didn't even register to me to I don't know why. I just didn't
But
care
that's
about
the whole point of Afterlife, is that when Ricky Gervais's his wife dies and he questions what's the point of anything? We're all gonna die.
Yeah.
I have nothing to live for. The person I love more than anything in the world is gone, and I don't want to ever replace her. And the world is not going to get better. He was like, "What's the point if I don't care what anyone thinks about me? Because the only thing that mattered to me is gone. then he's just an asshole constantly. But then he learns that the point of life is it's not about you. It's about you helping other people. It's about your point in this world is not so that you get ahead and that you survive and are the best person. The real point of life is to be of service to others and to be there. So if you want to take your own life, go ahead and do that. But what you're doing is you're killing off like people's ability to have a better life because you're going to be a conduit for that. So you can hold doors for people. You can listen to someone's problems. You can give someone a hug. Like, it's kind of a beautiful message because the whole thing, he wants to kill himself. And then this woman that he talks to on a bench is like, it's not, your life isn't, you're not allowed to take your own life because you might not want to live for you, but live for other people because you're taking that from them, kind of. It was kind of a cool message, but it's the honesty thing. There's a difference between being just a jackass all the time.
Yes, that is the thing. Yeah, that's
and just being honest.
That's just who I am, dude. That's who Mike is. He's I'm a piece of shit. Like, yeah, there's an asshole, and then there's someone that just like is kind of aloof and like doesn't care.
Aloof has a connotation of being kind of.
Oh yeah, I use that word
to
wrong.
Be an ass or trying to be cool.
Oh yeah, I used it wrong.
But yeah, just being confident. Like, for example, when I went to Cafe Gratitude in LA, and that's the place where you have to order things and you have to say like, I am blessed, and it means you're getting a Caesar salad, and you're like, but without humbleness, and they're like, okay, no chicken or whatever, or without humility. Sorry, I used the wrong word. They also, when they leave your table, as they go to place to order, they go, okay, I'll be right back with your drinks. And do you guys want to hear the question of the day? And it's supposed to like spur this conversation that'll make you think about gratitude, you know? And when I was there with Lizzie Cooperman a couple years ago, I've told the story, but the waiter was like, and would you guys like to hear the question of the day? And I just go, no. And then he just walked away. And Lizzie was like, How could you do that? Yeah. And I'm like, because it wasn't rude. He asked me a question. Why ask the question if the answer has to always be yes? He gave me an option. When someone asks you a question, no is an option.
Yes.
Always. And it's not rude. I just didn't want the question of the day. I didn't want him to waste his breath. I didn't want to play this whole game of like, I give a shit about this question of the day. I don't. We already have enough to talk about. We are not one of those two people that need something to generate conversation, which some days I am in that kind of situation. But
I guess the only thing that I see there is like, remember in Office Space, the movie? Like when you have to wear flair and you have to like.
But I wasn't being rude to him.
But he's already getting. That question's not coming from him. It's coming from the people above him
Management.
that go, hey, you gotta. It's like, welcome to Moe's.
No,
you gotta
know.
say it. So then I think like. That's the only reason why it's rude, because he's already. Why it would come off rude. I get it if someone's just like, "Hey, can I ask you a question?"
Isn't it more rude though to force the customer to listen to the question?
Or isn't it rude for me to make this guy stand here and ask a fucking question that he doesn't even care about?
Oh, for sure. But I think if you said that, if you were
why that waste everyone's time? I just go, no, we're good. Like, no, it's just we don't need the question of the day.
But maybe if you went, no, I know they're just making you fucking.
No,
assholes.
I don't need to say that. He asked me, do I want to hear the question of the day? And the answer is no, I don't. And this is the problem with our society is that no is a sentence. It doesn't need a caveat. It doesn't need you to explain it and to apologize for saying no. No is a full sentence.
I can't say no. It's so hard to say no.
You need to practice it.
Just no.
Practice it.
Without an excuse? Whew. Tough.
Honestly, everyone needs to practice it because it's not something you need to apologize for, that you don't want to do something and that you either don't have the time to do it. You don't need to say that.
Yeah.
You don't need to explain why you can't go to a thing later. Just say, I can't go. Do you want to go to lunch later? No. I know it sounds rude, but it can just be,
That's
thank
you. When you have a real friend. It may be an acquaintance.
Yeah.
It's harder. A real friend go, no, I don't want to do it. And they're like, oh yeah, cool. No worries.
It's a shame to me that being honest is a talent nowadays. Like America's Got Talent, when you go in there as a comedian, you're like, I'm really good with language and also I tell the truth. That's my talent. Whoa. You just say what you're thinking?
And then everyone writes a comment, truth.
And Heidi Klum's like, oh my God, I don't understand it.
That's so true.
All right, we're going to go to break and then come back and talk more.
Coming.
And we're back.
I was thinking about like when I worked in real estate and like an example of me just being completely honest. So I went out in a truck with this guy who was either represented or he had like literally probably like $100 million or claimed he did because they were looking at property that was thousands of acres.
Oh, I remember this story.
And I had a mustache just because I was partying a lot, and I fell asleep in his truck while we're looking at a piece of property that was going to sell for, $15 million, where I would have made, $500,000. I don't know, something crazy.
Oh my God.
And I'm just asleep in he's driving. I'm obviously because I'm asleep.
He's the client.
He's the client driving in his truck, and I just fell asleep in his truck.
How did you even get this guy as a client? Did he is he a family friend? Did he know you?
No, he was from Miami. Like they drove up.
Did he go, what the fuck is wrong with you, dude?
I mean, it's Florida. 2, it was during the market being just crazy. So, it was just, I was young.
Just
thought
take
you
a
were
nap
dead.
and make $500,000.
Yeah, you might have thought I was dead because I was so amazed that I was going to. So then I just fall asleep. But this is the thing though. So he wakes me up. And he's like, "Hey man, we're here." I'm like, oh yeah, it's pretty big, huh? I didn't know anything about the property either. I was just like, yeah, it goes around and stuff. And he's just like, you passed out, man. I was like, dude, I got so fucked up last night. And he's like, I get it. And that honesty, and I kind of knew that he wasn't a stuck up dude. He wasn't coming in like a Lincoln Aviator or something. He was in a pickup truck. The fact that I was honest about being
Made him
hungover.
like you.
Yeah, and then we got beers after we saw it, and
Little
that
hair of the dog.
Yeah, a little hair of the dog. But that honesty in that moment, I couldn't be any more honest.
Yes.
And it worked out in my favor. Now he could have been more stuck up and whatever. But I don't know. It was just I want to get back to that place where maybe I came off a little bit of an asshole because I fell asleep.
Yeah, I mean you're not taking your job seriously, but you're falling asleep when this guy is going to pay you $500,000 of his money is going to go to you, and you're asleep on the way that he's driving to the property that you know nothing about and couldn't have even been bothered to Google it. Although you probably didn't have a smartphone at the time.
Well, the problem was I just made $200,000, pretty much doing nothing. So I was like, whatever.
God, you must have just thought life was going to be easy. Did you have any plans for your future? What were you going to do?
I'd go to the ATM and just rub it in my friend's face, be like, yeah, look at this, and just show them how much money I had in the bank account. And then I remember me and Rusty, we were going to have a meeting, and I was like, I don't know if we could have a meeting with this guy worked for my uncle, and he's
The
really
only meeting that should start with me and Rusty had a meeting is an AA meeting. God. The fact that your friend is named Rusty is just the funniest.
third. Rusty the third.
I mean,
so Rusty the third.
so funny.
We were sitting in the conference room, and I'm like, dude, I was like, my uncle's associate was coming, and I knew he was 4'11", and he's a very little man.
Yeah.
And he has he's just gocks really high,
God.
this. And I told Rusty, I go, look, I want to be mature about this, but I know that
You're gonna laugh.
me and you in a room together.
Is this a client?
It's our boss.
Oh God.
So I go to Rusty. I go, look, this was before he was our boss. This
You
is
are
when
setting yourselves up to laugh more now.
Well, I tell Rusty, I go, look, just leave. Let me just do this on my own. And he's like, dude, I got it. And I go, how about this? I'll start the meeting. You walk by the. Oh my God. You walk by the conference room and you determine whether or not you think
can
you
handle
can
it.
handle it.
Did he walk by and just go, nope?
He walked by and he goes. He just shakes his head and just keeps going because he knew. He knew. And we're 25 years old.
You
this is...
little asshole.
Oh, dude, he would sit in my truck when I drive him around, my boss, and his legs would just go straight out. he'd be like, I want to see the property. And then that's the one that saw cum on my pants.
Oh, yeah, that's the story I thought you were telling.
Well, he's short enough where he was like eye
Eye
line.
and eye with it, yeah.
I'd come all over my dress pants. And he goes, is that cum? I was pumping gas. And he goes, is that cum? He looked. I go, yeah. And again, just being.
Wait, you would just ejaculate in your work pants? I'm so confused.
No way. He definitely masturbated the last time he wore them at like a wedding or something.
Oh.
And then he just wiped it on the pants.
Yeah.
Or his pants were on the ground when he was in his bed jerking off and he just grabbed them and like smeared his hand on the way to the bathroom or something.
His residue, I think.
What do you mean?
Like, I jerked off, put the pants back on. While putting them back on, I got a little, like, I still had a little bit of post-cum.
How are you alive?
And he's like, is that cum? I was like, yeah.
It reminds me of the penis pump, too.
Yeah, I mean, every story.
What is this? And you just go.
That's my penis pump. I think whenever I'm like, I'd be really bad in a hostage situation, or not hostage.
Oh, my God. Yeah, an interrogation.
Like, yeah, I would be terrible.
Yeah.
Like, did you kill the man? Yeah, I did. With what? Did you kill him with this gun? Yeah, that looks familiar.
Wait, let me see. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's
Wait,
it.
on the other side, does it have
My initials?
Oh,
Yeah.
I use the label maker. I put that on there.
Andrew Collins' gun. Yeah, that's mine.
Yeah, I'm terrible.
Are you good at that
lying.
stuff?
No,
Yeah.
I'm so bad at lying. I'm and I hate it because it makes the person think. Like, usually the only time I'm lying is for a prank or something that is going to be revealed right after it. But I am not. I hate it because I hate pranks because you just lead the person to believe one thing. And whether or not you go, I'm just kidding, there's a part of their brain, like the body remembers. And especially if it's like trauma, if you're saying something traumatic to them, their brain is like physically changed by that thing you did. And it doesn't go back and just erase it. And if it does, it leaves still these little, when you like erase pencil, but they're still a little behind.
Yeah.
That's what
That's PTSD.
That's PTSD.
Pencil
Yeah, it's like erasing it with one of those.
Oh my God! I just
bad
got the
erasers.
worst feeling ever.
What?
You know when you take the eraser out and you could bite the metal.
Don't do that.
And then
Why would you bite the
scratch it?
metal?
I don't know what I'm thinking about. But
is there
it's just-
anything worse than erasing something where the
Oh, the-
eraser is all the way down?
I can't,
And it's like kind of
dude.
scratching it.
Oh.
God, that's bad.
You ever not have a pencil sharpener and you try to bite it until you could write
Yeah.
with it, and then
Oh,
it gets in your teeth, and then
I-
it's just that little bit. Pencils.
You know what? I don't like
Or is-
mechanical I loved mechanical pencils because they're always sharp, but I hated when it would go like it would kind of like wobble, like it would just be a little too far out, and it would be like.
It's like a car with no tires, just wheels on gravel.
I love a pencil that's really sharp, and you're writing on a clipboard, like one piece of paper on a
Yes.
clipboard, and it makes like it's like a perfect sound.
I like a husky pen. I like a regular.
It's interesting how things can sound terrible. The same thing can sound terrible. Like chalk on a chalkboard, I love the sound of it, but nails on a chalkboard, hell.
Oh.
Pencil, like a dull pencil, kill me.
I kind of like
Or like-
chalk on my clothes, on my pants. I don't know why. It kind of just like.
Oh my God, my worst nightmare was in gymnastics. Kirsten, I know you're listening. And you know
Someone
what I'm
putting
about
a
to
chalk
say.
thing on your
I
ass?
can't even talk about it because it makes my teeth hurt. Like, maybe this isn't. First of all, I hate cotton balls. I hate.
By the
when
way,
people
write
pull
in
apart
on what
cotton
you
balls.
hate, like these life, like
Oh, I don't even. Yeah, like things that you just can't take.
that are the little things that you can't
Honestly, pulling apart cotton balls is the grossest thing I can ever imagine. Like that, like making cotton go like, or on like if you're wearing like cotton
take. Brenna hates wearing socks.
socks are disgusting. Socks
Why?
are terrible. I hate them. They have to be very thin and like, like when you bend your knee in a pair of pants. I don't want to see any fibers on the silhouette of your knee. Like, say your knee was like a sun going over the horizon. If you could see little fibers coming off of it and you tried to like pull those fibers.
Oh,
So, my worst nightmare is chalky socks. Like, but when we used to do gymnastics, we'd put our shoes in a cubby with the chalk.
Okay.
Or with the socks. And then you also had chalk for the parallel bar or uneven bars. And Kirsten would do this thing where she would be like chalky socks, and she would take her socks and like get chalk on her hands and like put them on the sock, and then she'd like bite the sock, like the very tip of the sock, and just like
Yeah,
I don't mind a whole bite of a chunk of a sock where it's like all in your mouth.
A small bite.
But a small bite where it's like barely hanging on it might like become threadbare. It's disgusting. Oh.
But here's the thing. I like thread. I would take thread out of my shirt and cause a hole a lot because I couldn't stop. Like once I get a little,
I don't mind like
if I get a little thread out, I'm going for all the thread. My thing is, as a lefty, mechanical pencils that spin on top are terrible because if you're a lefty, you close them or you while you're writing.
Yeah.
So the mechanical pencil either has to be a bottom guy or a side guy. Lefties get this. Also, lefties, we would get graphite or whatever.
Yeah.
Remember graphite being scared of like getting graphite poisoning?
No.
Or lead poisoning from a pencil?
Yes.
Lead.
Because you call it lead, but it's not really made of lead.
But that was a thing that you were scared about. And then I remember I threw a pencil one time out the door. I tried to throw it out the door and
it hit someone.
it hit the top of the door. So it went right into my finger. I still have it. I have.
What do you mean it hit the top of the door and went into your finger?
You could literally
Doesn't
see
even
it.
make sense.
So I hit
Wait, the lead is in your finger?
Well, it's graphite. I thought it was lead. I thought as a young
God.
kid, I was like, I got lead poisoning.
This explains so much. Noah, do you have any things that make you go, that make you want to talk like a grandma? And cover your teeth.
You ever staple your finger, Noah?
No.
Oh.
Luckily not. But
I mean,
I
that
know a
should
lot
make
of
everyone kind of squirm. It causes blood and
Yeah, you ever stab yourself in the neck? Yeah.
tissue.
What do you hate, Noah?
Wait,
Well,
she hates the knee. The behind the knee grab.
The behind the knee grab, I can't stand. It drives me crazy. Nails on a chalkboard or just like grinding teeth. Like if I hear someone grinding their teeth, it just makes me crazy.
I hate cracking fingers. Like I like a good, like a really like a I don't know what the name, like a thumb crack. I don't mind when it sounds like a snap, like a lighter snap. It's disgusting. But if it's like if it's like a neck crack, I don't mind because it's like a thick bone. But if it's like a tick, like the finger cracks, disgusting. Oh, when they pull your toes at a massage. Oh, God,
I don't like that.
Stop that. I don't mind if you like rip my bunion knuckle because it's a thicker bone, but I don't want that little thin, crispy.
I don't like the finger pull because I bite my nails and I think they're judging me because they could feel the fact that my nails feel
That's
like
not
they've been bitten
you think
by
they're
a
judging your
beaver.
nails when they're doing a full body massage on
Yeah,
you? That's the
yeah,
one place
yeah.
they're focusing in on. Andrew and I got massages yesterday.
I could also crack my knuckles more during college, and I thought I had a disease.
Yeah,
because I could crack
that's
them
a
easier.
common theme in your life.
Yeah,
It's a recurring.
maybe it was the
theme.
lead from the lead turkey tier.
We gotta go. Let's go to break and
And
come
come back with the news.
Oh wait, no. Let's just start the news. Wait, I do want to talk about our massage yesterday, though.
Okay.
What was your experience? We went to this massage place and they thought we were a couple and they took us into a room to get couples massages and we were like, no.
Yeah.
And then they took us to another room and just put up a light curtain in between us and I'm like, oh, this is pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, I'm like, can I like have my space? Because like I snore. I feel like I was gonna be rude because I snore during my massages a lot of times.
How do you know you snore?
So I sometimes wake myself up with snoring.
No
time
way.
You want to know something very funny? Did I ever tell you?
Because people don't know they snore because when they wake up, they're not snoring anymore. And they think they just woke up from a like I've heard men that I've been next to on a couch if they're snoring, they'll wake themselves up with a snore.
Yes.
But the thing that you don't know what the sound is that wakes you up. You just wake up and then it's gone. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm pretty sure I knew.
'Cause
One
you
time I
keep snoring
farted. One time I farted out my nose. No, one time I farted during a massage and I was naked, and the towel was down below my knee. And when I farted, my reaction was to cover my ass with the blanket. That was
That's so awkward.
Yeah.
Did you wake yourself up with the fart?
Yeah, I woke
And
myself.
so you just rushed to do something and that was your reaction. It's so funny what we do when we're in a panicked state in those moments and you're like, I just gave it away so much. And what was I covering up? Like a
Was I covering the smell of the fart? Was I
Or, like,
scared of the fart? Was I like mad that
debris that might have been spewed into the air?
Yeah, and she laughed for like 5 minutes while massaging me.
Oh my God.
I remember getting a massage, and the girl was so sick while massaging me.
What? Like she was sniffling?
Yeah. And like
yeah.
had like I could have
That's a
swore she
big
sneezed
thing is when
on like
people
her,
just-
my back and was rubbing snot into my back, and I just took it.
Oh, I've seen that on like some kind of video where people
Snot back.
where they spit on the person's face and they're making it seem like they're giving them like a facial and like putting on like different like warm, elixirs, and it's just spit. Andrew, yesterday's massage.
Yes.
Will you go back? Because
Yeah, for sure.
we got an
It's
hour full
$40.
body and
It's
then
$40.
for a full body, and then we did a half-hour foot massage. But when she started doing my feet, she sucked so bad at the feet part that I go, we're cutting this short. I'm not doing an extra half-hour feet. And I didn't realize that the half-hour feet was being put in the middle of the full body, so then it was just cut short. You know what I'm saying?
Also, an hour and a half is. I mean, what are you doing
too
with your
long.
life? Like,
I
you
know,
gotta be
I was like-
retired.
I know. I was like, "What? Who am I to get a 90-minute massage?" This is like Then I watched 4 hours of TV with no issue.
Yeah, you probably could have got another half hour pretty
Dude,
easily.
that massage was really good, but I wanted her to focus. It's so weird because I want to go get my bunions like worked on and tortured. And one time I went to this place in New York that was like guaranteed to do what I wanted someone to do to my bunions, which is like really hurt them and like try to break them off and like just get all that like built up callus and like calcification, just like get it out. And she went and she's like, so where is the pain? Where does it bother you? And I'm like, oh, it doesn't. I want you to cause pain.
Cause the pain.
I was
Yeah.
like, I realized what I want is not them to feel better. I want someone to make me feel worse. Like when I go in for a massage, I don't want to walk out and go, I've been to massages before where she's like, did we fix it? And I go, yeah, and I'm mad. Like I want there to be pain.
After the fact.
I
thought,
don't want it to go away. I just want you to torture that muscle and just like make it hurt. And I don't really care if it goes away. I just want it to keep hurting.
Interesting. I thought you might want it to hurt because
So-
at the end of that will be no pain.
No, I like muscle pain and I like pain on feet and I like
I'm
torturing.
not. I get what you're saying because
But where do I go for that?
Well-
Because people always want to heal you, and I'm like, no, that's not what I want. I want you to hurt me.
Well, it sounds like you need a
Craigslist.
dominatrix. Yeah.
That's
Yeah, you got to get on the Craigslist. I think like
You're right.
I get that though. Like after I work, like pain makes you feel like you accomplished something.
Yeah. That's like my whole
That's
life.
what it is. Like
The only thing that makes me feel like I'm able to enjoy anything is if I've suffered first.
or
Yeah.
after, or daring,
The,
daring.
The whole time.
Yeah,
Daring.
just a lot of suffrage.
Can you try to say during, like during?
No, I'd rather you be painful for you. Turkey tear. Turkey tear.
Chalk sock. Let's go to break and come back with the news. All right, let's get to the news.
You heard it here first. Yeah, you heard it here first.
All right, it's Thursday, folks. You know what that means. It's not Viernes, it is Jueves. Hope you're having all the swells. We are down here in Cabo shooting a show, Perfect Strangers.
Season 2.
Season 2. It's pretty good. Balky's here. He's addicted to heroin. It's pretty cool. All right. Hotel workers reveal the most shocking things left behind by guests.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Lube inside a phone.
I know. The puddle of lube that was on my nightstand.
An employee who used to work at a hotel in the
BP.
Las Vegas Strip, a high roller left $328,000,
That was probably you.
$328,000 inside a suite in the safe. So
Safe.
you got to return that. I mean, that's not.
And they came back for that, right? You're not just like misplacing that.
Yeah.
And, like, and not calling back to the hotel and just being like, you know what? It was meant. I wasn't ever meant to have it. You're not pulling a.
I'll say they clean the safe after you leave, I guess.
They probably open it back up so that they can.
Oh, yeah, the next guy can come back.
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow. Okay. $328,000.
You know how much money you have to leave behind $328,000? Maybe not that much, and you're just a fucking degenerate. But, anyways, a housekeeper found hundreds of live crickets in a room.
Wow. That sounds like the place I'm staying right now. I found those.
We threw crickets inside our own fraternity house as
God,
pledges
you
to
guys
fuck
suck.
with like people that live there because you can't get rid of crickets. They're gonna,
Oh wait, and you're going to live there eventually, right?
yeah, eventually, yeah.
And you know that the people living there aren't going to take care of that issue ever.
Well, that's why I burnt down the house.
Oh my god.
Okay. Someone said they found a literal crack pipe in a freezer.
Okay,
know why-
I bet that's been found. Oh, I bet a lot of people have found those.
Yeah, I don't know why literal.
Is this sourced from Reddit?
Oh,
I bet this
literal
is.
crack
Yes.
pipe in freezer.
Yeah.
Okay. In another room, the bathtub was full of dirty diapers. That's fucked up.
Oh god.
Worst part was that someone had taken a shit on the beds, not a smear of shit, an actual fucking large turd.
Oh my god.
And I mean, they did it
I don't
minutes
to hear
before.
this.
Yeah.
I'm staying at a
What
hotel.
is the most embarrassing thing you've left or you've forgotten at a hotel?
Oh god.
My dignity.
I I don't know. That's a good question because I think there have been things I've left behind that I go, well, that just has to go. I think it's just generally well, today the maid's probably going to come by later, and I definitely did some stuff to myself last night and had a bed full of accoutrement, and I put it all in a
Charcuterie
drawer.
board.
And I was thinking I very easily could have forgotten to put all of that in, because usually when I'm at home, I just like leave it in the bed to find it later, because I'm just like, I only use one portion of my my queen size bed. You only use like maybe less than a twin size amount of it. So, yeah, I just threw it in the drawer afterwards, and probably maybe just like gross food, like I used to just eat really disgusting things. So I think like but I always try to clean it up in a way that they're not having to like actually do gross things with it.
You do the thing like when people don't eat all their peas, so they like spread it around.
Yeah. Well, I just package it up, in a way that.
Yeah, but it's like you try to make it more presentable
man.
while it's still there. My room was really dirty when I moved. Like I just had a bunch of things, and she organized it so well, and I just felt so bad, like having to organize, like just little things.
I know.
That I should have
Please
definitely.
tip your maids.
Oh, I'm gonna
Everyone,
tip the shit out of her.
Please tip hotel maids. And it's gonna be a different maid, Andrew. You don't know which one did it. You got to find that one.
Yeah,
You go down to the front desk and you go, whoever cleaned blah 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 room, and then you leave money for them.
true. That's
Because
very
that
odd. That's very
woman-
odd. That's very odd.
Hopefully, she stole from you.
I hope so too. My passport's gone, and
But I did a segment on my show, Not Safe with Maids, where I asked them like what was the most disgusting things that they found, or like what's the thing in the room that's the grossest, and it's obviously like the top sheet thing that they never wash. That like always take off the top sheet. If you're staying at like a cheap hotel, generally at nice hotels they wash the duvet, I think. But pillows, they said, are so disgusting. The pillows.
I love when a whole like organization like. It's
That's why
one thing to
I
not
bring
wash
mine
your
home.
own duvet when you live alone or whatever, but I just love a whole company that like is like
They're like, it's
Like when
duvets
it-
are so hard to put on a bed. They probably think that if we only wash these once a month, we're probably saving hundreds of thousands of dollars over the course of several years in terms of the labor it takes, the hours that it takes.
yes.
If we're paying these people hourly,
I
a
know.
duvet is a big part of that.
I just love when a culture of one becomes like thousands of lazy. You know what I mean? It's just so funny to me. Like
Because duvets there's got to be a better way. I mean, I was
there's the burrito.
You had
way.
your duvet that you left on your queen size bed.
Yes.
Like I changed the sheets on the bed that you left because I was like, there's no way these have been changed.
They were
There was
no
stains
because
on them.
Brenna. Oh, there were stains.
No, but it was just they were used.
It was calm.
But I definitely changed the duvet, and I did it with like my fingernails. Do you know what I'm saying? Like I was just like, ugh,
It
because
wasn't that bad.
I just don't want. I listen. I have tons of fluids all over mine, but they're my fluids.
They're
you
your
know, like I don't
fluids,
want to
yes.
touch your fluids, and I don't want to touch Brenna's fluids either. I don't want to touch anyone's fluids. But duvets are so disgusting.
Why do we even have
Sheets
them?
are so gross, and it's so funny. Jim Gaffigan has a great bit about hotels. How like we would never buy a used mattress. You'd be like, you bought a used mattress.
Yes.
We'd never buy used towels or a used robe, but we go to a hotel and that has been used so many fucking times. You might even buy the used robe because you're like, this is so luxurious. And it's been worn by like hundreds of people.
I wonder. Whatever. This is a Google. Never mind. Like a duvet that doesn't come off. Like, and then you can just wash the blanket without. Like, why is that not a thing?
Yeah, they
Yeah,
have
they
that.
do. That's what they put in. A blanket is what you put inside
I know,
the
but
duvet, but you put it in there so you protect it so you don't have to wash it because they're pains in the ass to wash.
oh, and they
I think
don't
it's
dry
called a
quick,
comforter.
Yeah, comforter. Yeah. Okay, next news story.
I'm 41. All right, Spotify is in the process of removing Neil Young's catalog.
How long does it take to remove something?
Oh,
I don't know
yeah.
if it's in the process.
A
What are
duvet
they,
is
bricklayers?
way
This is
longer
give
than
me a
removing.
fucking break. Just when people say like, well, it has to upload and just take it off. Things are so fast digitally. In the process, what do they have to slowly type in his name and then select all and then delete? Boom,
Yeah.
done.
I mean, and then like really only Horse with No Name is the only song that has a lot of listens.
And guess what? Good for Neil Young. He didn't think that was going to make them actually,
Well, he's coming out with a new album. It was good. Whoever thought of it,
he doesn't need any more money. But the thing
Also,
is,
half
what
his catalog is sold, so he's not
for $150
really
million.
$150 million.
Yeah.
He sold it.
Well,
You
someone
don't think
needs
it has
to take a
anything to
stand.
do with him coming out with a new album? People always want more.
No, I think he actually is standing up for what's right. I mean, a lot of people are fucking sick of this.
I know, but it's just the timing of
Misinformation.
it. The timing of it.
I mean, you can be you're suspect about everything.
No, I'm not. I'm such not a conspiracy. I see UFOs. I'll just be like, oh, that's a
No,
you
think
plate.
they're coming out with a new fucking tour
Huh?
that they want to announce. Aliens. Every time there's a
Yeah,
UFO,
yeah.
you think those aliens are coming out with a new tour they're trying to promote.
Yeah, and then the new movie Alien 7 coming out. No,
Yeah.
I just think that it's a weird time. Like I just think that like you still want more money whenever you want more fame, especially when you're older. Like this is a way for him to like be in the news. Like how else is he going to be in the news?
I think
Kanye does shit like that all the time. Like people
I know,
do it
but
all the time.
Neil Young has always been someone who like is a he's a protester. He stands up for what's right and
Yeah.
loves America and is just a
But then people are like, if you stand up for what's right and freedom of speech, but then you're trying to silence Joe Rogan.
well, the
And
point
Joe Rogan
of,
thinks he's doing the same thing. So
Yeah, I know.
The problem is why
interesting.
Trump was taken off Twitter is because it leads to people being harmed. Freedom of speech is only protected under the guise of you're not harming anyone.
Yes.
And spreading misinformation about climate change and the vaccine and COVID it's harming people.
And Spotify claims that they've removed 20,000 other podcast episodes.
and also they've
Oh,
removed
that we're
I
talking
think
about
like
COVID,
40
like-
episodes of Joe Rogan's. So it's not that he doesn't have any of his podcasts removed.
I don't listen to Joe Rogan actively to Joe Rogan's podcast, so I don't know what's going on. But I just heard recently that he's had Brett Weinstein.
I listened
on, and
to
they talked
both
about,
of those podcasts,
or Jordan Peterson,
and
maybe,
he's
yeah.
not like forcing anyone to do anything. He's just talking. So I don't
saying what he
think
believes.
people-
Yeah, it's the problem. The problem is
he's not even
people-
saying anything he believed. He just asked questions of these doctors.
I've seen quotes where he's like, "If I were a young person, I would not get the vaccine." Like he gives advice. So I have seen
Yes.
those quotes before, like specifically.
Also, the
But
doctor,
also
the
he's-
doctors he has on.
Apparently, they talked about there's no climate change and saying that scientists are making this up.
Neil Young?
I mean, that's where I like the COVID stuff. I just I'm just tired of even paying attention to any of it. But when someone questions climate change, what would be the point of doing that? Like, who's making money off of spreading misinformation
Also,
about
you
that
could
the
find
climate's
you could
being
find
destroyed?
doctors that like whatever your narrative is, it can be
that
your
Trump
narrative.
doctor that leans back in his chair.
Yeah, with the long hair and stuff, and
Yeah.
everyone's like, "Man, he's a doctor though. He went to John Hopkins 48 years ago."
Yes.
But he also killed 9
But
people.
I love Joe Rogan. I think he's a nice guy, and and I do not listen to his show, so I don't understand. But I just read some, and maybe the headline I read was totally
I did see a video of
Clickbait.
Rogan on TikTok
Yeah.
and he had this guy on, and he was like, myocarditis, whatever, some shit with your heart is caused by the vaccine in young people more than COVID. And the guy's like, that's not true. Like, COVID actually is like, you're 6 times more likely to get it. And Joe Rogan's like, no, I read it different. And the guy's like, no, you're wrong. And Joe's like, no, I saw it. Pull it up. And then he starts reading it, and it's like, he's definitely wrong. Like, Rogan's wrong.
oh wow.
And and you just see him go, well, and then he goes, well, who wrote this? And it's just like, but that's what you use like the other way. And it's
Well,
just
that's
like,
what everyone does is they go, I read this thing, and you go, you read it?
but he uses publications that fit his narrative. Like that's where I like.
But
I'm
that's
just like
one
what
clip from a 3-hour show. I think like it's just you have to remember that clips tell one story, and then the whole show tells
that
another.
clip had
story.
all the context from it.
Yeah,
I've
of
never
3
seen that
hours.
one.
I know, but I mean, look, that clip was exactly what happened in that 2 minutes, whatever it was. I think like Joe claimed something that wasn't true. The guy claimed something that argued it, and then was proven wrong, and then said
Meaning
the publication
that
was wrong.
if Joe would have looked up something and it would have proved him right, he would be like, see, it's right.
Of course.
But since it proved it
That's
wrong,
all.
he goes, who wrote that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's all.
Yeah. I mean, that's what everyone does when something...
And he addressed it after the fact. Like he talked about that clip. I don't remember what he said because it was a little bit ago, but at least he like owned up to it or like addressed it and explained what he meant or whatever.
Look, I don't have I just think like I don't know. I just think that however you feel about the vaccine, I'm definitely like I think people should take it. That even if he's just questioning it, and makes people then like not want to take it. And
yeah, but it's,
so it is what it is. But
the issue is he needs to realize the power he has and what he wants to do with that power. Like he's just
To
a
tell
guy,
people
and he
to
can
just
say
work
he's just
out.
a guy
He
all the
believes
time.
he's doing something good with that power.
So did Hitler.
That's the thing. Oh, come on. You can't do that.
I'm not saying I know that's an extreme, but everyone thinks they're doing good.
Right. Like Hitler thought he was doing something
he thought he
good,
was doing
too,
the right-
but
yeah.
You can't compare the two.
I'm not saying Joe Rogan's Hitler. I'm saying the thought process of like, well, he thinks he's doing the right thing. That
Doesn't justify
Alex
it.
Jones thinks he's doing the right thing when he says Sandy Hook is a hoax. You know what I mean? He thought he was doing the right thing by showing what's really going
truly,
on.
anyone who gives that guy a platform, Alex Jones, after what he's done to those families of that lost children in Sandy Hook, is that's the biggest issue I've ever there's a great Sam Harris podcast about that recently. Those people have had. Do you know that Sandy Hook parents have had to relocate? Move 10 times, some of them, because they got doxxed and people stalk them constantly,
saying that they're
actors. Fake,
Yeah.
that they're actors, and these kids were. It's like the worst thing I've ever heard. The fact that Alex Jones is allowed to have ever a microphone in front of his face is despicable. That he's caused that for those people, and the problem is the nut jobs who take this shit seriously.
Yeah, I tend to not have as much of a... I don't care if people question things or whatever, but it's like, you're also like smart... I don't know. I just think like dumber people will take whatever you say and then like multiply it by a ton.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
We
Like-
have to realize that people are...
Like Rogan will look at things...
We were talking about a comedian today who I think is trash and like one of the dumbest people, like the worst comedians going. And we were talking about someone who opens for them and like we don't think that person's that funny. And you were like, and it's just like weird that this person who opens, the girl that opens for this guy, thinks that she's really funny. And I go and like post these clips where she's killing. And I go, yeah, because those audiences are fucking stupid. They'll laugh at any... If you went up in front of those audiences, you would fucking kill. These people are morons. And they need to be entertained too. But it's like... It's not even... You wonder, is it the person who's doing it or the people who are listening? And also, these people have money. Stupid people have money too. Let's wrap this up and go to Fanthrax. All right, Noah, what do you have for us this week?
Okay, I have a really fun story from Sophia to start with.
Okay.
Hey, Nikki, Andrew, and Noah. Okay, this is really random, but I was listening to today's episode. We were talking about like breathing heavily on Game Boy games to try to like get them to work again. And it just brought back this memory that I always thought was so weird. So I wanted to share this with you guys.
She has good ASMR voice.
I was a dancer, and whenever the CD would skip in the studio, our crazy ass dance teacher would be like, just flush them. So it was kind of like an honor if you got to take the CD to the toilet and we'd put it in the toilet and flush. So it would just circle around the toilet to like clean it.
Oh, and it
And
wouldn't
then
go
we would
down.
Stick our hands back in the toilet bowl, take out the CD, dry it, and give it back to her.
Oh.
And it would work.
So
and the CD
weird.
would skip again.
What?
Yeah, I'm not really sure if that was like legal to make us put our hands in the toilets, but we all thought it was really fun. I don't know. Just wanted to share that.
Wait,
with you guys.
why not
Maybe
the
you think it's
sink?
funny.
Why the toilet?
Because it would swirl around.
Oh.
And it's kind of cool because it doesn't go down the drain. And so it's just fun as a kid to like put something in the toilet and flush it and watch it go like whoosh, 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 whoosh. And also, why did that work? And do you remember how many different techniques there were to make your CD not skip? I used to lick it like,
Yeah, you were
like
the toilet
around,
bowl. You were
and
the
then I
toilet
would
bowl.
take it on my jeans and I would scrub it like I would spin it
Yes.
around on my jeans.
But that's probably where it got crud, and then it would skip because of the shit
no, it
from
would
your
always
jeans.
fix it and then it would eventually skip again. But
Why would it skip again, too? Like, why does it
because it would
decide
get
to skip?
scratched.
But why?
Because it got scratched.
Doing what? What was going on
Just
in
like
there?
being bouncing around and different things in your, in the. I mean, you must have been terrible with CDs if I was.
Oh my God, I
I
would.
was so jealous of people who had like organized books with like all the liner notes and everything.
I'd have a
perfectly
book.
placed.
I'd start with a book.
I
I'd
know,
fill it
but
up,
I-
and then slowly the CDs were on the ground.
It's
they
like
were
the first day of
scratched.
school. You
I had
have
two
everything
CDs left that were
perfectly in your-
good, and it was Hootie and the Blowfish because I didn't listen to it, or like it was like two CDs that like got played twice.
Yep.
And I had like one song on it.
Yep.
Like
It's
any
You know
CD I
what's so
wanted
fucked
was
up?
just like
what.
looked like Freddie.
I have so many CDs that I've collected, and I cannot listen to any of them because there's no way to play CDs anymore.
No, there's no CD players ever. Sometimes you'll get in a car that still, like a rental car still has it. But I used to love, God, CDs were so satisfying when they'd go, and you'd like feed the player and it'd go like, and it would like eat it. And then it would go like, do you remember having like a 10 CD changer to be like,
Oh yeah, the cartridge that you put in your car in the middle, and, and the click.
Oh my god.
I miss clicks. Like you don't get as many clicks
Oh,
anymore.
I love like satisfying like machines just going like. Okay, next Fanthrax.
I like a CD player, like where you close the yellow one that you get that little clip. Oh, it was a tape player maybe. The yellow, it was like a yellow Walkman that was like
when you
stronger. It was a sports Walkman.
Oh yeah,
a
yeah,
sports
yeah. I
CD
just
player.
love a crunchy clothes.
Or an old car phone that you would clip in.
Oh, when you go. Oh my god, have you played that
like,
game
Dad,
yet?
pay attention to me.
Where on TikTok where you try to recreate noises.
Oh,
like
no.
it's like, okay, Andrew, you want to play it really quick?
Yeah.
Just really quick. Okay, make this noise. No, with your mouth. It's not great.
Okay,
give
go
me
ahead,
one.
go ahead.
Give me one.
Okay.
Any noise.
Wow, that's good.
All right, give me one more. Give me one more. I
Okay,
wasn't trying.
okay.
I wasn't trying.
Okay, wait. Noah, you get one too. Okay, 1 second. Hold on.
No.
That was me writing your name on a piece of paper. Okay, next Fanthrax.
They all
Alright,
sound like
here's-
eating Doritos.
Yeah.
Like, everyone.
Here's Victor.
Hey, Nikki, Andrew, Noah. My name is Victor. I just wrapped up catching up on all the episodes. Definitely a big fan of yours
Thank
and
you.
the podcast.
Thanks,
I wanted
Victor.
to comment on episode 14 and the story of Nikki entering a party and Andrew doesn't recognize her for a second. So Nikki breaks into a silly dance to try to
Oh, yeah.
avoid the sexualization. And I thought
Yes.
that was one of the funniest stories of all of the podcast. And that reminded me of in college, me and my friends had a senior house, and we never closed the front door, but there was a screen door, so if somebody did enter, the whole house could hear it. And I don't know why this started, but eventually anytime one of us comes in through the front door, we'd all be like, "Oh, look who it is! Look who's here!" and just kind of, give each other shit. And, long after this precedent was set, one day I'm in the living room. I can't see the front door, but obviously I hear it open. And I immediately jump into, "Oh, look who it is." And then I just see some mail drop into the hallway. And it was our post office, person delivering mail. Because, we don't have a mailbox. And obviously the door's not closed, so they can't use the little slit. So they just kind of opened the screen door and tossed it in. And I was so embarrassed, and my roommates never let me live it down.
Oh,
so,
look
I hope
who
you enjoy
it
the story.
is.
Again, big fan of the
The
podcast.
fucking
Thanks.
federal worker
jackpot.
doing his job.
Yeah. Look at who it is. Old fucking Mr. Shitstain.
It's so embarrassing when you talk to someone in a way that you usually talk to someone.
It's honesty again.
Just go like,
It reminds me of the Swingers scene when the guy's at the door. And they're like, "Is he brown? Is he clean? Does he want to have sex
I don't
with me?"
know. You reference Swingers all the time, and
Yeah.
it's lost on me.
I think
but
twice, but
no, I hear Swingers references so often. Sometimes I think I'm in 1998.
Oh,
I'm like,
come
what?
on.
Why does every man in my life know that movie so well? Why do you all feel so seen by it? Because there's sad men calling women over and over, or whatever it is. All right, next Fanthrax. Thank you, Victor. That was great. Oh yeah, let's go to the final thought.
Okay, here's a voicemail from Sarah.
Hi, Nikki, Andrew, and Noah. This is Sarah.
Oh my God,
I'm
Sarah,
just calling to
your
share
voice.
that I made my mom listen to the podcast, and oh my God, my sweet Irish Christian mother has been making anal jokes nonstop to anyone who listen. I swear, this bitch has had a sexual awakening at the ripe age of 65 since becoming a bestie. And man, what a gift. But yeah, I also just wanted to say a quick thank you to Nikki for replying to a DM I sent about eating disorder recovery stuff. It was just really nice to have someone give it to me straight, as this is what worked for me, take it or leave it, instead of preaching. But yeah, gay recovery, a new angle at the weekend, and I feel so good about everything. So thank you, Nikki. But yeah, you guys are all absolute sweethearts. I love the podcast so much. So thank you.
What was her name?
Sarah.
Sarah.
what an accent.
Oh, I love
Jesus.
you so much. I think
I just want her to read me anything. Just
I wish she told us one of the anal jokes.
I know.
That
Yeah,
her
I want
mom
to
is
hear what
saying.
your mom. I
probably
just want
harder
to hear
for her
her
to
voice.
eat after hearing her mom talk about her asshole.
Yeah, that's. Yeah, if you have a binge eating disorder, just get your mom to talk about anal a lot, and then you'll stop binging. Sarah, that was so nice, and I believe you're the same Sarah that often watches the Instagram lives, and I think I remember talking to you just very recently. So thank you for saying that and reaching out, and I love the way you say mother.
Oh, her Christian soul. She
She's
listened
such
to it,
a
and now she talks
sweetie.
about eating
I'm like
shit
wondering
of a
how
cock.
Sarah found us. Sometimes I wonder how people even find this podcast.
Part of me like envisions her like in hills of green of Ireland.
Oh, yes.
And somehow she came across this little like
Like a
iPod like out, and she's like, "What's on here?" And then it's like, "I take it in the ass." She's like, "Oh, my mother needs to hear this," and then she runs back to her village and.
I picture like someone was at one of our shows and got a Nikki Glaser podcast sticker, and it blew in the wind, and then it traveled across the Atlantic and landed on the green slopes of Ireland. And she was like out collecting milk or something in a bucket, and then it like blew up to her foot, and she goes, "Oh, what's this, mother?" And then she reaches down. I was like, "It's a sticker of the Nikki Glaser podcast," and then. She goes, "Oh, she looks like a fine lass." And then she typed it into her like local library because they didn't have, I don't know why I'm making this like she's living in the 1800s.
Yeah, meanwhile she's like in like Liverpool, like in a high rise with her mom. Like
Liverpool's not in Ireland, by the way.
no, a Liverpool, like a pool made of liver.
What? Okay, we got to wrap. Do we have time for one more? Sorry,
sure.
Sarah, that
Let's-
we just mocked your life.
Let's get this message from McKay.
McKay.
McCrispy.
Hey gang, it's McKay here. A huge fan of the show. Nikki, I really just loved your attitude the other day towards men with smaller penises. I've actually made it my life mission to always share this story I have about a time where I met a man and he actually had a micro penis and he was really hesitant to show me, which was totally fine. You know, I'm sure it'd been like a really embarrassing experience in the past, but honestly, I was okay with it because he didn't really want to do anything sex-wise. But when I tell you, his finger popping game was absolutely immaculate. I mean, his tongue game was great too, but really, I've just never come so hard off of someone fingering me alone. And so, yeah, I always just want to share with all men, because you know, there's the too small, the too big, and the just right, and all men should just know how to please those of us with vaginas without their penis. There's so many other body parts that you can use that will get the job done, and honestly, probably better. So yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there too, just because I feel like that is on everyone who is sleeping with someone with a penis. Like, we just have to keep educating them on how vaginas work.
Yay!
All right. Love you guys. Have a great day.
What a
Bye.
great close to the show. Yes. I feel like the best orgasms I've had in bed have been with fingers. And obviously toys, but really above penises. Penises do feel great. There's a connection to be had when there's one inside you. It does feel good. But I gotta be honest, the best orgasms are finger induced. So, unless you have micro fingies.
But that's
I don't
not,
have a problem.
yeah.
You know? Any comments?
No.
Okay. For once. No. Oh, wait, you closed with no. I like that. Did you just realize what you did?
I didn't, but that was a great fucking
Dude,
ham
you
drip.
just did it.
Yeah, I know. That
was great. Good job.
Just let's end it now before I say
is
anything.
A full sentence. Thank you guys so much for listening. Have such a good weekend, and don't be cut out there. And Jack
dudes by the pool. Liverpool. The pool made of livers. Ham drip.